Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Are you happy? Do you believe that if you have a goal, that if you set a goal, that if you attain something or a certain person or a certain job, a certain amount of money, that you're going to be happy? Well, I'm going to flip things around and suggest that you have to be happy in order to attract what you want. You have to get into the state of being happy in order to attract all the people, all the resources, all the things, all the situations that will allow you to enjoy more of life. When you feel abundant, more prosperity, abundance, and happiness come to you. It's the way the universe works. We've been programmed to worry about what's going to happen, worry about the future, to look at the lack and limitation, to not take risks because we're worried it might not turn out. We know what we have and we don't want to give it up. But you have to give something up in order to get something better. I've picked up the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. And he was a brilliant author. He says, happiness does not lie in the future, but in the present. Blaise Pascal, the 17th century mathematician and philosopher, said, we are never living, but only hoping to live and looking forward to always to being happy. It is inevitable that we are never so. We are never living, but only hoping to live and looking forward always to being happy. It is inevitable that we never are so. Wow. Just think about what makes you happy, what allows you to be happy. Are you being happy on purpose, or are you saving that for a special occasion? Are you thinking you're going to be happy when you get the $1 million in the bank? When you have a lover in the bed? Or you have children, or the children leave the home? Or you have grandchildren? Or you get married, or you get divorced? You can't worry about you'll be happy when, or you'll never be happy. Just decide that you're going to start being happy no matter what. Dr. Maltz says, I have found that one of the commonest causes of unhappiness among my patients is that they are attempting to live their lives on the deferred payment plan. They do not live or enjoy life now, but wait for some future event or occurrence. They will be happy when they get married, when they get a better job, when they get the house paid for, when they get the children through college, when they have completed some task or won some victory. I hear a lot of people say they're going to be happy when they win the lottery. Invariably, they are disappointed. Happiness is a mental habit, a mental attitude, and if it is not learned and practiced in the present, it is never experienced. It cannot be made contingent upon solving some external problem. When one problem is solved, another appears to take its place. Life is a series of problems. If you are to be happy at all, you must be happy, period. Not happy because of. I have now reigned above 50 years in victory or peace, said the Caliph Abdel Rahman the first, the 8th century ruler of Iberia. Beloved by my subjects, dreaded by my enemies, and respected by my allies. Riches and honors, power and pleasure have waited on my call, nor does any earthly blessing appear to have been wanting to my felicity. In this situation, I have diligently numbered the days of pure and genuine happiness which have fallen to my lot. They amount to 14. In 50 years, the 8th century ruler of Iberia was able to count 14 days of pure, genuine happiness. How many days do you think you've been happy? Maybe it's time to start practicing that. Abraham Lincoln, who was the president of the United States, said, most people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. Are you happy walking in nature? Are you happy when you're alone and recharging if you're an introverted kind of person? Or you're busy all the time and you're just happy to spend some time alone? Or do you get happy when you're surrounded by friends and family and then miserable when you're alone? Just think about the times that you're happy, where you're joyously skipping down the street, when you could be like a little child playing on the swings, running around, playing tag, giggling. When was the last time you giggled from pure joy and happiness? It makes a difference. Laughter can help uplift your spirit, uplift you into a better vibrational energy. And it is all about vibrational energy. We are vibrational, energetic beings, and whatever frequency we're on is what's going out into the universe. And it's pulling back to us. It's attracting, it's magnetically attracting and showing us what we're in harmonious vibration with. I would suggest that you start paying attention to what's showing up in your life. If you're not happy with it, maybe it's time to decide to be happy now, in the present, not looking forward to being happy when or because of, but just allowing yourself to stay in the state of being happy. Dr. Maxwell Maltz says happiness is a mental habit that can be cultivated and developed. He tells us that psychologist Dr. Matthew N. Chappell, author of In the Name of Common Sense, Back to Self-Reliance, he quotes him, happiness is purely internal. Happiness is produced not by objects, but by ideas, thoughts, and attitudes, which can be developed and constructed by the individual's own activities, irrespective of the environment. Okay, well, that's huge. No matter what your environment is, you can produce happiness. You can decide to be happy. No one other than a saint can be 100% happy all the time. And as George Bernard Shaw quipped, we would probably be miserable if we were. But we can, by taking thought and making a simple decision, be happy and think pleasant thoughts a large share of the time regarding that little multitude of little events and circumstances of daily living that now make us unhappy. To a large extent, we react to petty annoyances, frustrations, and the like with grumpiness, dissatisfaction, resentment, and irritability purely out of habit. We have practiced reacting that way so long that it has become habitual. Much of this habitual unhappiness reaction originated because of some event that we interpreted as a blow to our self-esteem. A driver honks his horn at us unnecessarily. Someone interrupts and doesn't pay attention while we're talking. Someone doesn't come through for us as we think he should. Even impersonal events can be interpreted and reacted to as affronts to our self-esteem. The bus we wanted to catch just had to be late. It had to go in rain when we planned to play golf. Traffic had to get in a snarl just when we needed to catch the plane. We reacted with anger, resentment, self-pity, or in other words, unhappiness. Dr. Maltz says, stop letting things push you around. He says, the best cure I have found for this sort of thing is to use unhappiness's own weapon, self-esteem. Have you ever been to a television show and seen the master of ceremonies manipulate the audience? He brings out a sign that says applause, and everyone applauds. He brings out another sign that says laughter, and everyone laughs. They act like sheep as if they were slaves, and they meekly react as they were told to react. You're acting the same way. You are letting outward events and other people dictate to you how you shall feel and how you shall react. You are acting as an obedient slave and obeying promptly when some event or circumstance triggers you. It signals you, be angry, get upset, or now is the time to feel unhappy. Learning the happiness habit, you become a master instead of a slave. Or as Robert Louis Stevenson said, the habit of being happy enables one to be freed or largely freed from the domination of outward conditions. You know, even in tragic conditions and the most adverse environments, we can usually be happier, if not completely happy, just by not adding to the misfortune our own feelings of self-pity, resentment, and our own adverse opinions. Dr. Maltz had a lot of patients that he helped. One wife of an alcoholic husband asked, "How can I be happy?" Dr. Maltz says, "I don't know, but you can be happier by resolving not to add resentment and self-pity to your misfortune." A businessman said, "How can I possibly be happy? I've just lost $200,000 on the stock market. I am ruined and disgraced." Dr. Maltz suggested, you can be happier by not adding your own opinion to the facts. It is a fact you lost $200,000. It is your opinion that you are ruined and disgraced. There's a saying, Epictetus has always been a favorite of Dr. Maltz's. He said, men, I'm going to change that to people. People are not disturbed by the things that happen, but by their opinion of the things that happen. He said, when I announced that I wanted to be a doctor, I was told that this could not be because my parents had no money. It was a fact that my mother had no money. It was only an opinion that I could never be a doctor. Later, I was told I could never take postgraduate courses in Germany and that it was impossible for a young plastic surgeon to hang out his own shingle and go into business for himself in New York City. I did all these things. And one of the things that helped me was that I kept reminding myself that all these impossibles were opinions, other people's opinions. They were not facts. I not only managed to reach my goals, but I was happy in the process. Even when I had to pawn my overcoat to buy medical books and do without lunch in order to purchase cadavers to work on. I was in love with a beautiful girl. She married someone else. These were facts, but I kept reminding myself that it was merely my opinion that this was a catastrophe and that life was not worth living. I not only got over it, but it turned out it was one of the luckiest things that ever happened to me. We are goal-striving beings. Mankind is functioning naturally and normally when we are oriented towards some positive goal and striving toward something we desire, a desirable goal. Happiness is a symptom of normal, natural functioning. And when a person is functioning as a goal striver, he tends to feel fairly happy, regardless of circumstances. My young business executive friend was very unhappy because he had lost $200,000. Thomas A. Edison lost his whole laboratory worth millions of dollars in a fire with no insurance. What in the world will you do? Someone asked him. We will start rebuilding tomorrow morning, said Edison. He maintained an aggressive attitude. He was still goal-oriented despite his misfortune. And because he maintained an aggressive, goal-striving attitude, it was a good bet that he was never very unhappy about his loss. Psychologist H.L. Hollingworth said that happiness requires problems plus a mental attitude that is ready to meet distress with action towards a solution. Form the habit of reacting positively towards threats and problems. Form the habit of keeping goal-oriented all the time, regardless of what happens. Well, that starts with setting a goal, deciding what you want, not meandering around in your environment, wondering what to do next, or just doing whatever is placed in front of you or reacting to whatever situation shows up. The first thing you must do is decide to go after a goal that you truly desire. Form the habit of keeping goal-oriented all the time, regardless of what's happening in your environment. Do this by practicing a positive, aggressive attitude, not aggressive, but assertive, both in actual everyday situations that come up and also in your imagination. Practice seeing yourself in your imagination taking positive, intelligent action towards solving a problem or reaching a goal. See yourself reacting to threats not by running away or evading them, but by meeting them, dealing with them, grappling with them in an assertive and intelligent manner. Most people are brave only in the dangers to which they accustom themselves, either in imagination or practice, said Bulwer Lytton, the English novelist. You want to start systematically practicing a healthy mindedness. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The measure of mental health is the disposition to find good everywhere." I think we kind of have a mental health catastrophe going on these days. Everyone's talking about depression and anxiety and how bad things are in the world. There's always been bad things. There's been world wars and there's still wars going on. The economy has crashed on a regular cycle. You don't have to worry about that. If you can do something about it, then do something about it. But otherwise, stay focused on what you really want and practice feeling what it would be like when you get there. Experience has shown that not only can happiness or keeping one's thoughts pleasant most of the time, not only can it be done, it is about the only way that the habit of happiness can be cultivated. Dr. Maltz suggests it is something, in the first place, happiness isn't something that happens to you. It is something you do for yourself and you determine upon it. If you wait for happiness to catch up with you or to just happen or to be brought to you by others, you're going to have a long wait. If you wait until circumstances justify your thinking pleasant thoughts, you're also likely to wait forever. Every day is a mixture of good and evil. No day or circumstance is completely 100% good. There are elements and facts present in the world and in our personal lives all the time that justify either a pessimistic and grumpy outlook or an optimistic and happy outlook, depending on our choice. It is largely a matter of selection, attention, and decision. It is merely a matter of what we choose to give primary attention to and what thoughts we hold in the mind. Deliberately choosing to think pleasant thoughts can have very practical results. Concentrate on a beautiful scene that you really desire. What would you love to bring into your physical reality? If you don't have a goal, you might think about a scene in your past that caused you to be happy, that allowed you to feel joyous. Maybe it was a Christmas celebration. Maybe it was a wedding day, a birth of a child. Maybe it was just a special day off that you allowed yourself to walk in nature, to go on a hike, to conquer a mountain and feel so proud of yourself when you reach the summit. Maybe your favorite place is walking along the beach on a hot summer day, feeling the cool breeze, feeling the cold water lap up onto your feet, sitting and watching a spectacular sunrise, filling yourself up with happiness, with gratitude. When you get into feeling grateful, that is one of the highest levels of frequency that you can possibly attain. Truly feeling grateful, appreciating all that there is, all that you have, all that you've accomplished up to this point. Feeling good about yourself. Intentionally practicing appreciating what you have. If there are things in your life that you don't appreciate, what if they were taken away from you? What if tomorrow morning you woke up and you didn't have electricity or hot and cold running water or food in the pantry and in the fridge? The first thing you should be grateful for is waking up. I imagine you woke up in a comfortable bed, in a home that you chose. Be grateful for your bed and the linens and the pictures you have hanging on your wall, all your little trinkets, a reliable vehicle or reliable transportation, the ability to make yourself a cup of coffee or tea or to go out and order one and pay for it. Now transfer that feeling of gratitude to people that you love. Send love to your family, to your friends, to people who bother you, and to yourself. Get into the spirit of being happy, being content, being joyful, recognizing how many blessings you already have in your life. And then you could start to feel grateful for what you want coming into your life and see it in your imagination and pretend that you already have it. What would it be like? You might write down, I am so happy and grateful now that. You could write a list of 10 things that you're truly grateful for and include something that you really want, that you believe will cause you to be happy. And practice being happy. And I promise you, everything that you want will show up in your life. As you radiate happiness, you attract happiness. You attract more things to be grateful for, more things to be happy about. That's the way universal laws work. Create a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much. I would appreciate if you subscribed, liked, and shared the ones that you do enjoy. Thank you.